Definitely a home-cooked meal because I am a superb Michelin star level kind of cook. City energy! Conversations. I love having conversations with people. I love learning new things from people all the time. Live stage, live performance is so incredible because you don't know what you're going to get from the audience, and what you know for sure is that it's going to be a communication between your energy and the audience energy. So it's a conversation, it's different to studio in that way that it's an active conversation between you and your audience. Sneakers! Night walks are amazing and you must wear sneakers. Look, you can wear boots, you can wear anything, you can wear heels. Hi, my name is Nomsa Mazwai, aka Nomisupasta, and I am a creative, a active citizen, a leader, a singer. I'm myself. I am me in South Africa, and God has given me a number of talents that I ask Him every day, what must I use them for today? That's me. Listen, I grew up in a creative family. My father is a writer. My mother was a school teacher. My sisters were singers, poets. Our family, Onukana, there's a lot of singing there. My aunts were all in choirs growing up. So I am a product of a community, my family, of creativity. And so what has happened to me in my life is that while somebody else who did not grow up like me may need to be asked to be creative, they might have to make a choice to be creative. Creativity for me, it's natural. It's like drinking water, it's like breathing air. It's just my go-to to think, how else could this be? When I was at Forte, I was an independent SRC president. And there's things I learned about the ANC and SESCO when I was there. I learned that the culture of the ANC, the culture of SESCO, is very survivalist. It's if we can't be, nobody can be. If we're not doing it, nobody can do it. And I remember wondering, why did I go through that? And today, I now understand, because it makes it so easy for me to understand that the ANC doesn't exist anymore in the sense of what we all imagine. There's an imagination that we have about the ANC, and that imagination, it's fiction now. It was true once, but now it's fiction. And I think, having had the experience at Forte, I saw the decay. How many years ago was that? 20-something years ago. I could see the writing on the wall. When I was SRC president, SESCO and the ANC youth bodies could not accept that I was SRC president. They just couldn't. From the day I got into office, they were trying to get me out of office, And then they did it so badly that by the time it was time for me to get out of office, they were so focused on trying to get me out of office, they hadn't organized themselves. Who's going to take over? And back then, I wrote a book about it, my experience. But now it enables me to understand that was the beginning of the decaying. If you think of a turtle or a tortoise, if the ANC is a turtle or a tortoise, the actual living being is dead. We're just seeing the husk. And so the husk, when we look at the husk from a distance, you still think you're seeing a tortoise or a turtle. But when you get closer and look closer, you realize, There's a Brown Mukhotsi hiding inside here. There's a Kat Matlala inside here. There's a Senzom Kunu inside here. Yabo. And all of their behavior is very unfamiliar to what our imagination tells us the ANC is. I studied international political economy and development. So that particular master's degree is very focused on community development. So what I learned there was how to implement projects. So a lot of project management or understanding the dynamics in community development and implementation. I also studied conflict resolution, which is, it was quite important because it was academic conflict resolution that actually brought us to the new South Africa. So that's something that I studied. And then the other part of it is political analysis, and from an economic perspective, understanding what is the impact of sanctions, what is the impact of tariffs, what happens. So having studied what I've studied, how I've benefited from my degree is an ability to understand that America, the world superpower, is definitely in decline. Every empire rises and it falls. America's just falling. It's not a new thing. It's happened many times in the history of the world. Empires rise and they fall. And there is a global push towards a more multipolar world, which is something that China believes in very strongly, that we should have a multipolar world where you don't have one superpower, but you have many different superpowers. And in addition to that, utilizing technology to alleviate people out of poverty. We've got technology now. And this is a game changer for the world. And we have to now take the steps to ensure that we utilize technology to alleviate people out of poverty. The world is moving away from greed. You must understand that things like politics, in their truest, authentic, purest form, you can never apply to be president. You can never apply to be a leader. People have to see that in you and they have to trust you with it. So I don't think there's a line. Me, I'm just enjoying my life. While I'm here on this earth, I'm like, guys, God has made this. Me, I'm going to operate in the world the way you let me operate. So right now, South Africa allows me to operate as a musician, and that's what I'll do. From a very young age, I always understood that there was a higher power. And I also, and what that intrinsic knowledge that there's a higher power has always allowed me to just do. Somebody is in charge. It's not me. It's not me. So let me just do, and then we see what happens. And when you are in that mode, you allow God to do with you. Yeah, so my debut album, all of those songs were an energy that I was riding like a bicycle. I was having a good time. And God intended that it should be that album wins an award, and it was a very special moment because I was an independent artist, and back then it was all labels. I just came out of nowhere. And also I didn't know that I came out of nowhere, which was also a problem because I didn't know the industry. You know when you don't know that you're coming out of nowhere, but you are coming out of nowhere. But you are the person, you don't know. Okay. Oh, am I the drama? So but it was a beautiful moment. Looking back now, I could have come from somewhere. It would have been nice. I would have made more money. Mama, when you come from nowhere, somebody there will say, does she know she comes from nowhere? And then they look at her, this one's moving like she doesn't know where she's coming from. And then they go and collect your monies and they eat your money, and then all the things that usually happen to artists, we suffer. People steal from us. They steal from us, and then we turn 40 and we've got serious challenges. But we know that in the past there was money we didn't eat. And it's real in this world. I used to live in New York when I was doing my master's. I also did a residency in Newcastle in the UK. I loved walking. I've always loved walking. If you look at my pictures and my music videos from when my album Won and I Want, I'm a slender of a catalog. You have to understand. Being slender is a catalog, so I'm a catalog. If I'm a music video, I'm maybe I nabo nguwe. You understand? Like I was a bonang mateba. You know what I mean? I was very slender because I used to walk everywhere and I love walking. And I want my snatch body back. I do. And it comes from walking every single day. It just comes from walking as part of life. Safe walking, calm walking, comfortable walking, not stressed walking, anxious walking, scared walking. No. So when I was in the UK, I said, you know what, when I get back to South Africa, I don't care who says what. Funk it, I'm walking. So that's how it started. Then, of course, when you start an organization, you start understanding the dynamics of walking. Walking is healthy. Everybody knows walking is healthy. But walking has a lot of other impacts, right? When you have a community where people walk, the streets are safer because there's more people around. There's just so many benefits. When people are walking, there's a need for the streets and the sidewalks and everywhere to be clean because people are walking. So when people are walking, there's less pressure on hospitals because there's less pressure on clinics because it's part of your health when people are walking. But also when people are walking, they are far more interested in knowing about the clinic and the hospital so that people don't go straight to the hospital every time. There's a lot of far-reaching benefits of walking. Leisurely walking, safe walking. And so I decided that Funk and I'm Walking aims to make it safe for women to walk at any time of day in any condition. As an economist, behavioral economist, somebody who is passionate about behavior, I came to understand that women's safety will not happen until it makes business sense. So we started researching what kind of businesses are going to make it safer for women, or are going to make it safe enough for women to walk at any time of day in any condition. One of the businesses that came out of there was Soweto Night Out, which provides night walking tours in Soweto. There's another business that looks at recycling because of the illegal dumping sites. We went and we looked what's in there. And then there's another business now called Sober Fest, which is a festival that celebrates sobriety and shows the other side of addiction, the less blameful side, the less insulting side. Because at the end of the day, nobody wakes up and says, I want to disappoint my parents. I want to disappoint my grandmother. Nobody does that. So we need to really understand what is creating the environment that enables the addiction, and it's unemployment. People have nothing to do. But then the festival is also, looking at how to educate families, also sharing information with families about addiction. It's very difficult for the parents of the Nyawopes. Can you imagine being in a room and people are talking about Nyawopes? Yabo, the way we talk about Nyawopes, and then your son is actually one. Para. So can you think about how that mother is engaging with their child who is suffering from the disease of addiction? So there's businesses that we create that, as Funk and I'm Walking, that enable women's safety. So there's Soweto Night Out, the night walking tours in Soweto. That's, it's kind of clear, you can see it. We want the night to be safe for women. The recycling, and as well as the Sober Festival, which is Sober Fest, which is happening on the 26th of April at the Soweto Theatre. I work with the Community Policing Forum, and our night walks, it's in a partnership with them. In fact, it's a beautiful thing. When I started the business, there's CPFs that invested sweat equity, because we mustn't say people volunteer. They invested sweat equity. And now every time I get a night out booking, those CPFs get paid whether or not they are working. And for me, working with the CPFs, there was a very big difference. Once I had shared with them how I view addiction, there was an ease, there was a willingness, because everybody is affected and impacted by drug addiction in South Africa. And having that conversation with them, I could feel that day that we were closer. And it's, you can't trade that when you connect with people as a human being who understands, because we all face our challenges. So that definitely is one I'll never forget. There's only one lesson I carry in life, and I don't want to bore you, but it's the only lesson that anybody needs to know. God is in charge. When you wake up in the morning, you must say, God, I offer myself to thee, to build with me and to do with me as thou wilt, as you will. Relieve me of the bondage of self. Take away that ego, God. Take away that thing where I think about myself. So relieve me from the bondage of self, such that I may better do thy will. Take away my difficulties. Don't take away my difficulties because I don't want difficulties. No. Take away my difficulties such that victory over them may bear witness to those I may help of thy power, thy love, and thy way of life. May I do thy will always. If you wake up and you say, God, let me just do your will. Let me do your will. It's the most miraculous thing. It's the most magical thing. Because once you do that, and you let God know about your little issues, and you say, God, wait again, I need to get into this school because of this and that. Please, God, I'm just asking for that. Oh God, can you just put some little mtlakasi? I pray. I say, God, I don't have electricity. Because I'm just one of those people in South Africa that's also unemployed. I'm one of the many unemployed. And I understood that, this thing, alcohol shall not overcome this. Drugs shall not overcome this. And you know what? I'd rather sit in my corner, be bright in my corner like God wants me to be, than to be in a dark corner doing other things. You understand? So I sit bright in my corner, man, something. If and I can promise, guys, I don't know how to tell people. Hey, guys, it works. You ask for what you need, and it will always be provided. So that's my life. That's how I live my life. That's how I do my day to day. Because at some point, I did realize that my life, this life, being a human in 2026 is completely unmanageable. So leave it to the people who know. But that's me. So, that'll be my lesson to anybody. Just trust God and do God's will.